Hello there everybody, I hope that you are all well and I hope the weekend has treated you well. We are here for our reading for the week ahead. If you're new, very welcome, and if you are coming back, thank you for being here. Always very blessed and happy to have you back. Alright, so this is a collective reading for Monday to Friday for this week coming. A collective reading means that it is going to apply to a larger collective than obviously a personal reading, and so not everything always makes sense to everybody, but there may be something here that speaks to you. All right, I do try to just see what the general energies are for the week ahead in terms of like what everybody's dealing with, but obviously that cannot cover everybody's specific individual scenarios or events that they're going to have in their lives. So I do my best to give as many people guidance at one time that I possibly can. Okay, so we're going to be using the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle today, which is the one I'm shuffling now. Then we have the Healing with the Angels, and I'm going to use the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. All right, I'm going to pull a tarot card for each day of the week just to see what the general energy is, and I'm going to pull some advice or guidance from the other two decks. Okay, so let's do that. All right, can I please see what the general energy is for Monday? What is Monday's general energy, please? Thank you. Four of Swords. Potentially some rest and healing. Tuesday, please. It can also mean a complete opposite of rest and healing. We'll see which one is applicable. So Tuesday's King of Wands. Wednesday, thank you. Four of Pentacles. Thursday, thank you. Five of Cups. And Friday, please. King of Cups. All right. Okay, so if I'm looking at this in a general energy, at the bottom of your deck is the Emperor, which is really lovely. Let me just see if it's focusing properly for us. Yeah, it's just got a bit of a glare. So the Four of Swords is usually an energy that is related to us having a lot to deal with. So we are sometimes inundated with paperwork, or we've just got a lot going on where we're trying to do a lot of things at once, and this is a call for rest and healing. So there could be that you get a chance to rest and heal, or you're actually being called to make sure that you get time to rest and heal because you've had a lot going on. It can be that we're inundated with some paperwork that we're busy with, or just have a huge workload at work, you know, or at home, depending on what we are busy with. But it can tell us that we must be a little bit careful of like burning the candle at both ends, and that there might be a need for rest. But we'll see. We'll expand on that. So let's do that now, and then we'll talk about the others shortly. All right, so what advice do we have with the Healing with the Angels Oracle deck, please? What goes with the Four of Swords for Monday? Thank you. Celebration, okay. And here, what goes with the Four of Swords for Monday, please? Thank you. Blessed change. A major life change brings blessings. Okay, so perhaps there's something here where you've been working hard at something, and now there's potential for you to have a bit of a stop and a rest, and there's going to be something where you actually feel like you've achieved something, which is really lovely. So I feel like when we have this blessed change, this is about things turning around. So maybe you're getting a bit of a respite from this, because if I look at the cards for the rest of the week as well, this is followed on Tuesday by the King of Wands, which is feeling like we are in a position of power. We feel as if we are a bit more in control of certain things. This is a leadership kind of energy. So this is what follows on from this. And I feel like this can come through a change in perspective, which is a theme that's really been coming up a lot. This is what last week's reading was essentially about, on one of the readings specifically. And then there's the celebration that comes up. This could also be something that has come from an intention that somebody has set specifically, maybe even around this past full moon in Aries that we've just had. A major life change brings great blessings. I get a sense of real gratitude here. I'm focused on her smile, how happy she is for whatever has happened here. I'm focused on this angel's arms up in the air saying thank you. You know, gratitude is very important here. And that this person's hands are also together in almost like a praying kind of a pose. This is something that's going to be very well deserved and very much appreciated. So I think this is some kind of a rest or respite from something that you've been working hard on. That's really great. What wonderful cards to get. Okay, let's look at Tuesday, which is the King of Wands there. What goes with the King of Wands for Tuesday, please? Ooh, we've got 3 cards. Am I going to take 3? Let's take 3 for a change. Okay. Romance for some. Divine guidance. And nature. Okay, for some of you, this is going to be very much associated with something to do with romance and relationships. I feel like somebody's been wishing for something to happen either in the romantic life or maybe for romance to actually come into their lives if you've been single for a while. So I actually see that this star over here is in a heart shape, which is quite interesting, and that's what makes me feel like someone might have wished for this. This is also associated with a fire sign. It's a lot of the time associated with Aries. So it could be an Aries that's coming into your life, or someone else that might be a fire sign. But it's as if there has been an intention set here. And the King of Wands is very much a go-getter and someone who knows that it depends on how much they want something and how they direct their energy. That is what the results depend on, what the results that they're going to see. So I feel as if they have been maybe getting signs and synchronicities with certain things and now seeing that this is coming into their lives. There's definitely been, with whoever this is for, definitely been this connection, trying to connect to spirit more, trying to connect maybe through nature and meditation, trying to connect with spirit like this, to work towards manifestations. And it doesn't just have to be the romance, but I really feel like there's been a focus and a concentration on connecting to spirit. All right, we even see the colors here actually that are like amethyst colors that are associated with your crown chakra. And your crown chakra is what connects you to everything else, that makes you feel more connected, that reminds us that spirit is with us, that allows us to connect to everything around us, not just our physical 3D. So I feel like there's been a concerted effort, whether this is to do with romance or not. There's been this concerted effort maybe to spend time in nature, or there's going to be, you know, this ability to make time to spend time in nature and to connect a bit more, to manifest ideas and to get to certain goals and aspirations, working in consort with spirit and following the signs and the guidance that we get. It's amazing how it can bring a change in your perspective. You know, I actually spent some time outside a few days ago and I was actually lying down looking at the clouds, which is what this looks like. It looks like cloud formations. And it's just to remind you of the bigger picture, you know, how you fit into the greater scheme of things. And it also brings things into perspective where we realize that there's a lot more to life than just the mundane things that we're focusing on all the time, that we allow to get to us. But this is even, yeah, I feel like we could be in contact with people that we really enjoy spending time with. Maybe you are going to get some time to be out in nature, and who knows what happens out there. For some of you, there's a romantic connection coming in here. All right, so let's see. For Wednesday, we've got the Five of Pentacles. And let's see what goes along with that. So we've got Five of Pentacles for Wednesday. What goes with this, please? Thank you. Retreat. Ah, okay. What goes with this, please, for Wednesday? Thank you. Okay, Wednesday feels like a day when there's a lot of reflection, there's a lot of thought processes that are going on, and they can lean towards the negative. All right, so I feel like Wednesday might be a day where you feel a little bit off. This is a time when we kind of see the glass half empty, and we've got the retreat card as well. So maybe we feel that we want to withdraw a little bit, we want to feel a little bit sorry for ourselves. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, we do have days like that. But then it's important, like we were discussing last week, to pull yourself out of that. You know, allow yourself to feel. Allow those emotions to be felt and understood, and reflect on them, but don't stay there. All right, that's the danger, is people stay there for hours and days and weeks, and that's when they don't get out of certain mindsets. So it's okay to be there, but recognize when you're there and say, okay, I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself. Let me get over it. Let me have a hot chocolate and then snap myself out of it and get going again. And maybe we do just need some rest. Maybe we do need to just, you know, get away from noise or a lot of activity, because we just need that respite sometimes. And I do feel like we're dealing with a lot of energies at the moment where we do need that. We can feel overwhelmed just by the noise around us, or too much activity, or you know, it can just get a bit much. And I think that straight away I was told, like, we can be in this energy, but work to get yourself out of it as soon as possible, because there's still things to do. And then you've got the ready, set, go card. Okay, so it's like you're having a little rest and saying, okay, I'm upset about this, or I'm not feeling it today, I just want to be left alone, but tomorrow is a brand new day and I'm going to be ready for it. I'm not going to allow myself to dwell in this energy. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. Sometimes we just need a day like that, where we can actually sit and figure out what it is we actually want, and we need to just hide away from the world in order to do that, right? Okay, Thursday is the Seven of Cups. This can often show that there's a lot of things for us to consider. We're making some kind of a decision. It can sometimes be confusing or seem really overwhelming. Sorry, I just realized that my fish tank is super, super murky and I have no idea why. I'll deal with it. Okay, so maybe there's something there. The water is very cloudy, and this is when we feel like our thoughts are very clouded and we're not sure what to choose. But I do sometimes say that this is a good problem to have, or it's drawing our attention to something. So maybe there is a problem that we need to focus on and we're not really seeing it, or there's something that is just a bad choice and we're not really seeing it. I do always feel with this card that we will make the right choice and we will make the right decision, but it's just us, you know, those concerns creeping in that maybe we won't make the right choice, the right decision, or maybe there's a lot of nice choices to choose from, and it's a bit of a nice problem to have. Like I say, let's see what goes with the Seven of Cups for Thursday, please. Trust. Okay. And here, what goes with the Seven of Cups for Thursday, please? Really? What goes with the Seven of Cups for Thursday, please? Thank you. Friendship. Okay. Make a date for a play day with one or more friends. There's a message here for somebody. It might be only for a specific few or just one person here, but if you're battling to make a decision, there's somebody that you know, and it could very likely be a friendship, where you, if you're unsure of a choice, you can actually ask this person. There's somebody whose judgment you can trust. There's somebody who can offer a pearl of wisdom for you here in making this decision. All right, maybe somebody can give really good advice on a life experience that they've had, or something along these lines, or they can say to you, don't take that job because this and the next thing, or they have some inside information, something along these lines. But I do feel like if you do get a second opinion, or you ask a friend or a relative or somebody, often it's like older people that we can go to for advice. This person's trustworthy, and their advice is trustworthy. My cat's locked out. He always has to get up to something while I'm busy doing my videos. I just want to see here. It's like somebody's gone through the same thing you have. There's somebody that you can speak to that's gone through exactly the same thing, and they've taken some wisdom from the situation. So if it is a friend or it's somebody you can go and have a cup of tea with or whatever, I feel like you could actually, maybe even if you go and visit a friend, there's somebody there who has got the insight that you need, perhaps. Okay. But don't worry, because I feel like you will make the right choice anyway, especially because it's followed by the King of Cups. Okay, this is lovely energy. The King of Cups is to do with the moon and our emotions, but he is usually quite a emotionally balanced king. We'll see, depending on the other cards, what this is talking about, because it can always tip the other way. All right, what goes with the King of Cups for Friday, please? Okay, I feel like I need to look at the bottom two. Okay, so we've got listening, truth and integrity, and spiritual growth. Interesting. Okay, so if you are meeting with anybody or anything like this, because this can talk about business, it can also talk about people who work from home, private practitioners, this kind of thing. It's like we really need to listen to whatever's being said, and we need to speak more than we listen. I mean, we need to speak less than we listen, because I feel like there's gossip. Okay, I haven't said that about this card before, I don't think, but it's almost like something that is, here's an analogy. So it's like going to the doctor, and you are listening more to things that outsiders have told you about what could possibly be wrong with you than what the doctor might think. And you're so busy telling him what you think might be wrong with you that you don't actually get the message. All right, something like this, because I feel like you need to stick to truth and integrity, and you've got to sort the truth out between the nonsense. Okay, so as an example, if you've Googled an illness, it usually tells you that, things are dire and haven't got much time left. And you'll get to the doctor and they'll tell you it's a very simple thing. So I feel like listening more than speaking is important, and very careful of who you listen to. All right. I feel like there's this person who has got integrity. They are more balanced when it comes to their emotions. And instead of falling for all the low vibration gossip and the possibilities of everything that can kind of send you into a spiral or make you worry about something, there's one person that's really solid, and you just need to listen to them. And learning this lesson of being able to cut out the nonsense is actually what's going to bring the spiritual growth. It's going to actually be very important for you. So I don't know exactly who this person is. It could just be somebody that you know that is, they're also very much business people, people who are well connected. It seems like somebody who's a bit of an authority figure, so it could be a manager at work. It could just be somebody that's you again would go to for advice or something along these lines, and they're saying like, cut out all the noise, all the gossip and the rubbish, and stick to what is truth and who's acting with integrity. Gain some perspective so that you can see that. And I feel like this is actually going to bring some kind of growth for you that's quite significant. But be a quiet observer. Do more listening than speaking. Watch the people around you. Okay. All right. And you've got the Emperor. The Emperor is about the potential for expansion, the potential for growth. So overall, a really lovely energy. And it is about people who you're connected to that might be in positions of power, or that you have as key individuals in your life that can actually open up opportunities for you. All right, it's about those potentials for things to open up, for us to have growth on different levels of our lives, for things to open up where previously we might have felt like we had blockages in certain areas of our lives. The Emperor can break through that. It puts us in a position of power where we are able to build a foundation for ourselves. It opens up communication between people. It's a really wonderful place to be. And the Emperor has already built his empire. He built the throne that he's sitting on, all right, through conquest and through doing hard things. And he's now an authority himself and somebody who's wise. So there's definitely a potential for growth here. I'm just going to see if there's any other message that might go with him. Anything to go with the overall energy of the Emperor for the week. It's a really great card to have as your overall energy for the week. That's way too many. Any final messages from this deck, please? Throwing it at the camera. Playfulness. Light-hearted energy. Not taking things too seriously. Alright, going out in nature. Making time to do that. Because whatever you've got to do in the office or whatever can wait 2 minutes. And you won't believe what a difference it makes if you spend 5 or 10 minutes outside, or playing with your dog, or playing with your kid, or your nephew, or whatever the case is, Light-hearted playfulness. Don't take life too seriously. Okay, that is a very good message. We need to learn to do that more. That's what's going to shift our energy. Because we've been too serious for too long, worrying about everything, living in anxiety. It's not good for us. What else from this deck, please? Anything from this deck is the overall energy. Thank you. Waves of prosperity, new abundance, and exciting opportunities wash over you now. And remember that you have to be in that light-hearted, playful, open kind of energy. You have to be in that energy if you're going to open opportunities for yourself. If you're going to have positive interactions with people. If you're going to attract the things that you want that are going to bring more joy and playfulness and light energy into your life. If you're going to obsess about everything that's going wrong and you're going to dwell in this place and you can't get yourself out of it fast enough, you are going to get stuck in that place. And then we often want to shake our fist up at the sky and blame the universe for it, when in fact we're choosing to stay there. So be very mindful of choosing what mood you're in, and choosing what you do with your time, and choosing who you spend your days with. All right? Go and see your friends. Go and have a bit of fun. Have a cocktail. Chill out. And on that note, have a great week. I hope this helps you. I send you lots of love, and bye for now.